So tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to be elected for this city council position.
Great question. Thank you for the opportunity and the chance to tell more about who I am. My name is Gregory Miller. I live in Arlington with my husband, our 2 kids, and our 3 grandkids now. And the children are adult, of course, but at this point, retired recently from the Boeing company with 33 years. And on the side, we always had our pet e-commerce business, and now it's a family business with our daughter runs the day-to-day operations. So that way it will allow me to focus all my energies on the city council. So I won't post it in retirement and I won't post it on the city council. Just to put it out there that that's going to be my total focus, energies and time, besides family commitment. Right. But we've been, our pet business has been going on for about 20 years. It started out of our house in High Clover in Arlington, and then we've grown and expanded over the years. And now we take over our daughter's big barn that she has within Arlington. So we've expanded the business, and we have employees, and then we have other vendors that we help support in the community and around the U.S. We have some parts built in, some of our pet components are built in Vancouver, Washington, and some out of state. And then we have local sewers here and in Bellingham. So we try to keep it within the state if all possible, to keep as local as we can for some of the components. And we've called Arlington home for 20 plus years. Started in High Clover, and now we're in Glen Eagle, and we just always have been drawn to the small town charm. Small town. I grew up in Granite Falls, so a small community, and I've always liked that. You usually know your neighbors, and you can wave, get a wave back.
Yes.
But
wonderful. And what do you feel like you could sort of contribute to the city council?
As part of the LGBTQI plus, I love to think that the more diversity and inclusion, the better for our community to draw more people as community members and visitors that were inclusive. And I see that the more and more as we're growing, we're more inclusion and diversity. And with my experience at Boeing, I was a leader, a SME over those years, and with the business experience, I think I can try to help entrepreneurs and grow small businesses. A good time to start in Arlington or grow your business. It's just great. There's a lot going on, and bringing more business is coming.
Yes, definitely. And I like that sort of dual history that you have experience-wise with, being an employee at a big business and understanding sort of the nuances of that, as well as being in leadership, because I think that's a huge, huge strength to have, but also growing a small business. Because
dynamics, yes.
Right. And starting so small with your business and being able to have it now move into your daughter's barn and the focus of keeping it local, and that the small town charm is something that we've talked about consistently, I think at the forum, but also in all the interviews that I've been having with folks, is that, that is a huge component of this community, and something that a lot of community members have expressed fear that we'll grow too fast, or when we grow, because it is inevitable, that we'll lose that charm. And so having people who have that, goal in mind is really important.
It's so true. We want to grow, but we don't want to lose what we've had and lose what we call home. But growth comes from more opportunities and challenges with traffic and etc. I think we're on the right plan for growth, and I like to say it's managed. You got growth. If you're not a growing city, you're a dying city. So we don't want to be the next maybe Linwood for scale and traffic, but I think we're on the right path and for growth, and we're bringing businesses and jobs, and I love that.
Right. Yes. I love that too. So tell us a little bit about what your most favorite part of Arlington is.
I like the choices that we have from downtown core, and not to forget Smoky Point is part of us. And so whenever possible, I like to go to our local stores. Even though Safeway is a large multinational, it's convenient for groceries, and they have EV charging, which I appreciate. So when I plug in for a few minutes, it's a nice convenience. And we have Stilly Diner, we have Bluebird, we have a lot of great choices, local restaurants and shopping. So I like to keep it local whenever. Sometimes I need to go to Costco, but whenever possible, try to keep it within your area. And I love the Glen Eagle Clubhouse for food delivery. They deliver within Glen Eagle, and it's a great business. And this time of year, they need the extra business, so we try to always include them on our dinner thoughts. So they fast delivery, great food, local business. So I love to help them out.
Yeah, I like that you mentioned that too, that one thing for candidates who are running for positions that aren't necessarily specifically in Arlington, I sort of explained the business community to be such that we really advocate for each other and look out for each other and support each other at every opportunity. So I think what you said right there is evidence of that. And I think it plays a big role in our culture as a small town. So
we have each other's back and support each other in good times, bad times, and challenges that comes with it. We do the best we can, learn from it, and improve on that.
Right, most definitely. What are some of the things that you feel like maybe you could challenge or maybe help address within some of your roles as a city council member?
Well, as city council, you want to bring people to the table and always find common ground, but whenever possible, to see each other's points and a common ground, so we can move forward on those struggles. And if it's something that you have to really fight for, then you fight for get your point across of how you're coming from that view or angle, and so working together, not against each other.
Right.
That's the best. Again, you can't always agree on every topic or what's coming from council, but try to see their point and build bridges and not blow them up.
Right. Yeah. I've been doing some kind of digging around what is the importance of a city council member and what is the role of a mayor, and things like that. And I think when we as community members look at the involvement of these positions, we often think that the mayor has like the ultimate control, right? But really what it is the city council members, because the mayor doesn't have a vote, but the city council members do. And so as community members, our allies obviously need to be our mayor, but also our city council members, and seeing how they'll advocate for us. And one thing that I think I've observed watching city council meetings is a lot of cohesive thought, which is great, but also the voicing of opposition, or that idea could be good, however I'm thinking this. I would imagine that would happen more than it actually does. And so I think that you're, speaking to creating maybe and enhancing an environment where people can speak up more about, I don't necessarily agree with that, or can we look more into this? And I think that that's really important, to be able to feel like you can speak up.
It's key. I've seen at city council meetings that I've attended that we've seen some great turnout on both sides for like the Pride event ons, and then other weeks you see very few attendees at city council. So to be honest, I didn't realize as much as I did before running for city council is involved at the and sorry, some trying to
No problem.
but there's a lot to it, and it'd be great to see more support from the community to show up their concerns, growth or development at those meetings. So it'd be great to see more involvement. And the city does a great job with putting out notices on site and invites when there's, like the Smoky Point park development and all these items that are coming up. They do a great job of communicating it, just to get people to be present and show up and show their.
Right. How do you think you might participate in that sort of engagement of getting people involved? I think, they have a lot of surveys. They have their newsletters on Fridays. They have so many different ways that they work to engage the public. And we still have, lower numbers of engagement. And one of that is like, why, right? But also, what are other ways that you might, use your role to engage folks to attend or voice their opinions?
That is a great question, because I know everyone's busy. They have their jobs, their families, commitments, and the city council, the 5 or 6 p.m. starts. Hopefully, and people can, view it online and see the minutes. And that's a great, how do we communicate to the community of what's going on and how can they best represent? That is the $1 million question. How do we? And I struggle with that too, because like HOAs, how many people, you get your core people to attend, but you're not getting,
all the voices
and to show up. So how do we, you continue to Facebook and announce it, and then you still get low attendance. So that's a hard question. It's not easy. I don't have that answer, but just to keep communicating, talking to our neighbors, your friends, what's going on, and
right. I think of too, other city councils that have a lot of involvement. What does that look like, and how did they do it? And I'm sure, there's probably research out there of how to get people to engage, and I wonder how much of that is happening, or if there's a role within, city government that focuses on that. I'm not sure, but it sounds like, there's a lot of folks that are, interested in increasing engagement, and so it's exciting to hear that from you as well.
Yeah, and we need to do more, and they've done a great job. Can we do more? Sure. And like you said, how do we do that? That's the $1 million
$1 million question for sure.
If it was easy, it would have been done.
Right. Yes, that is so true. What do you think would be ways in which you would prioritize different needs that arise?
A lot of that is reaching out to the community. What is the priorities? People always talking about the traffic and congestion. And yes, Arlington's surrounded by 4 state highways. So we got to keep the pressure on expansion of 172nd and homelessness, mental health, those issues, not always together, but if the city does a great job with the embedded social worker program and getting the message out that there is help to get people off the streets, to food, health, their first place or jobs, is through that program, and expand more visibility. A lot of people know about it, but instead of giving the homeless at the street corner a couple bucks, getting them the real help to get them into an apartment, and getting a second chance is the key. So there's programs that are great programs. Again, it's getting the message out to the community, and there's programs and where to go to get that help is key.
And when I think of expansion as far as programs, I think of money. And so one role within my business is, looking for those funding sources, and whether it be grants or donors or whatnot. What are some maybe skills or networking opportunities that you might have that could benefit that aspect of finding funding sources for things?
Uh, that's
It's a
that
tough one for sure.
you're trying to bring business in the community and the city council together, for budget, making sure your money is going to the right places. You don't want waste or any unnecessary expenses, and that's trying to be lean and making sure the greatest needs are met first, and then if it's something that's a great want have, to budget accordingly. But that's a uh, that's a hard question. I don't have the answers for how to bring everyone together. You don't want to be taxed for unnecessarily for fluff or frills. We want city management and being run as efficient as possible, but that I don't have the answer for all that.
Yes, definitely. I think the budget piece of city government is so complex and so much money for so many different things. And I always like to stress the sort of the availability of grants for municipalities and different government agencies, that there are so many things out there that are accessible. It takes, grant writing and things like that, and the time and the effort to kind of go through and collect all the right information. But one thing that I think could be beneficial when we think about program expansion is the knowing to where to look for those grants, and that they exist out there too. So so it's always interesting stuff to consider as far as budget goes.
Yeah, you don't want to lose out on any potential grants. And I know Councilwoman Chanquetti is good about doing grants in the past. So I reach out to those in the city council that have been doing it for years and years, of how best to, you don't want to lose out on potential.
Right. Yes, definitely. What are some other kind of topics as far as like your platform and your priorities that you think voters should know about?
As an entrepreneur from 10 years old, starting my first startups, and over the years, some successful, some not so, is that passion for entrepreneurial spirit. And Arlington is a growing city, and we have lots of opportunity for small businesses. 1-2 person business to start their dream business here, and we have so much diversity here. It's just a great potential for people to start, and anything I can do to help somebody else, passion, whatever little piece I can do to point in the right direction, or great time to start a business or expand their existing business and grow a few additional people and build their dream. That I've always had a soft spot for businesses,
right?
And I've always had that since 10 years old. Just love having a business, call it your own, and have something to show for it. And
right.
Struggles are there. Obviously, over the years, our pet business has seen ups and downs, and we're still doing it. And some years you're like, I don't see a path forward, but you keep working at it, and it's not always easy, but it's end of the day, you have something left behind for our family, our daughter now, to continue. So I just appreciate the hard work people do for their businesses, and I've always want to support them, and anything I can do, my little piece.
That's wonderful. Well, wonderful. I am so grateful that we got to chat more and hear more about, what kinds of things you'll do to be part of, an active city council. So
I appreciate all the opportunities you've given myself as I just didn't wake up one morning and decide to run. It's been in the back of my head, what can you take and take? And it's like, at some point, now that I'm retired, I have a little bit of time. It's like, I'm not saying that I have all the answers, but I like to build community and work together and not fight against each other. And let's work together. And what can we? Thank you, Kaitlyn.
Yes, thank you.